A lot of pressure on Carlos Mendoza today. He knows, as does Brian Snitker, that you want to win game one, but you have to be cautious about how you try to win game one.
You have to win a game, but you have to win the day. It's a very strange and tricky situation for both managers.
I think that both managers, this game is so critical that this takes the pressure off. And they'll be managing to win. All hands on deck.
Yeah, especially in game one if it's close. Schwellenbach on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. He has been a godsend for them. A great athlete, shortstop and closer. University of Nebraska. His last 14 starts. ZRA is 2.69. 90 punch-outs and 14 walks.
Next play here last Tuesday, Francisco Lindor was still out of the lineup with his back issues. Braves won that game 5-1. The teams got rained out the following 2 days, which is why we are here today, the day after the end of the regular season. The only slight parallel in Mets history, 1973, when the Mets won on the day after the end of the regular season at Wrigley Field to clinch the National League East. Lindor leads off against Schwellenbach, and the first pitch of the day is a fastball in for a strike, and we're underway. Lindor went 4 for 12 in the series in Milwaukee, including 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases in yesterday's game. And a swing and a miss at the breaking ball by Schwellenbach. 0-2. Here's your umpiring crew. Scott Barry has the plate today. Lance Barksdale, Jim Wolf, and the crew chief Laz Diaz. And a breaking ball in the dirt from Schwellenbach, and it's 1-2.
Schwellenbach does not walk people. Only 23 walks in 116 2/3 innings. And those 2 starts against the Mets, both 7 innings, only 1 walk.
Head on Lindor, 1-2, and he tries this changeup and it misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll say Iglesias on deck. Well, Schwellenbach took a little different tack against the Mets. His second start against them last week. Threw a lot more 4-seam fastballs in that game than he did the first time around.
Well, we felt up in the booth here that he didn't have his slider. The first start at Citi Field, he was spot on with all of his pitches. But he adjusted. He didn't have his breaking ball. So he went to the fastball more.
And he throws the fastball there and gets a ground ball to Albies. Lindor retired for the first out of the day.
Ronnie, you can speak to that. You went out there and probably didn't. If you didn't have your slider or your splitter one game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to make adjustments. He's got 6 weapons, so he can make that kind of adjustment. But you'll see a lot of cutters, which you just saw there, in on the hands on Lindor.
So 1 out and nobody on now. Iglesias, who had 2 hits yesterday, extended his hitting streak to 20 games, the first 20-game plus hitting streak by a Met since Wilson Ramos had a 26-game streak in 2019.
And they still, the defense for the Braves, want to give that right side of the infield to Iglesias. He goes that opposite field so well. If you note, Ozzie Albies at second base is playing way up the middle. Olson's trying to take the hole away by playing way off the line.
Iglesias as good a 2-strike hitter as there's been in the game this year. Seems like he's constantly behind 0-2. And that time he tried to hold the swing, couldn't stop it on the slider. And Schwellenbach has his first strikeout, 2 down. Spencer Schwellenbach, first 20 starts in the major leagues, 122 strikeouts, 23 walks. There are only 2 other pitchers in Major League history who've had that many strikeouts and that few walks through 20 starts. Steven Strasburg in 2012, Masahiro Tanaka in 2014. That's the list. Mark Vientos had the only marker against Schwellenbach in his 2 starts against the Mets. That came here last Tuesday night.
Yes, and this was late in the game, opposite field, which Vientos has been doing all season, up the middle and using that right center field.
The only run that Schwellenbach's allowed against the Mets in 14 innings this year. And he fires a fastball on the outside corner at 98 miles an hour, and it's 0-2.
Well, he doesn't look like his feathers are ruffled, Gary. He's coming right out throwing strikes. It's a big game for a 24-year-old rookie.
And Vientos is down on the slider, and Schwellenbach has himself an impressive 1-2-3 opening inning with a couple of punch-outs. Now Tyler McGill goes to the mound for the Mets as we head to the bottom of the first in Atlanta.
Well, there's the numbers for the entirety of the season for McGill, but he's been a different pitcher in his last 5 starts since coming back from AAA. The Mets are a perfect 5-0 in those 5 starts.
1.78 ERA, and perhaps most notably has not allowed a home run in any of those 5 games. Michael Harris leads off. First pitch by McGill is in for a call strike. Harris, Albies, and Ozuna for the Braves, who just took 2 out of 3 from the Royals. They could have clinched a postseason berth yesterday with a win, but lost that game 4-2. Hit on the ground past the mound, rolling out to Lindor, and a low throw. Harris is retired, 1 away. Here's Ozzie Albies, who has struggled since coming back from a fractured wrist. He's played 7 games. He's been batting exclusively right-handed because his wrist still hurts to bat left-handed, and he's gone just 4 for 31 in those 7 games. A good swing at that fastball and fouled it back, 1-1.
Important to note too, in that 3-game series with Kansas City, before this game, this doubleheader here, the Braves were 1 for 19 with runners in scoring position.
Well, it's got to be, I don't care how much batting practice you take. When you come back from a fractured wrist and you are a switch hitter and you decide that you're going to hit right-handed against right-handed pitching, that's got to be a real difficult thing to do.
I will say this. When we saw him last Tuesday batting right on right against Severino, he looked pretty good.
He did look good.
It was a good cutter by McGill to get even in the count 2-2.
But this swing didn't look good.
No, he kind of steps in the bucket from both sides of the plate, which is going to make him vulnerable to the breaking ball. And don't forget, he's not used to facing right-handers from that side.
Just off the plate with that cutter, and it's 3-2. How can you step in the bucket when you're so open to begin with?
Hey, you got to believe your lion eyes.
I mean, his left foot is practically in the third base dugout to start the at-bat. How much further can you go? Marcell Ozuna on deck, and Albies takes just outside, ball 4. Came back with 3 cutters in a row after getting the second strike, and McGill walks Albies, first base runner of the game.
And the Mets are going to have to be very careful here, because I think the pedal is going to be to the metal.
This was Tuesday night when Marcell Ozuna put the icing on the cake. Oh, that was the home run against McGill that he hit back in July. I thought we were going to show the one he hit last Tuesday. Anyway, dribbles one up the third baseline. They'll let it roll, and it'll go foul.
What's going to be important to watch at home and for us to watch up here. So we have talked about McGill and his ability to throw that 2-seamer in on right-handed hitters. This is a predominantly right-handed hitting lineup for the Braves. How effective he is inside with that 2-seamer will tell you the kind of day he's going to have.
This is why the Mets used David Peterson yesterday, because they prefer to have the right-handers against the Braves. The Braves are only 5 games over 500 this year against righties, but they have strafed lefties. Peterson came up huge in Milwaukee, and the Mets are hoping for the same from McGill. Ozuna 2 home runs in 12 career at bats against McGill. Short lead for Albies at first. And Ozuna swings and misses at a fastball. Good sinker there, and it's 0-2.
Good pitch, got the downward movement. Kind of middle though. He could really come hard inside here with the 0-2 count.
Ozuna's hurt the Mets this year. He's hitting .359 against Met pitching with 4 of his 39 home runs. And McGill pops one inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I always like that pitch inside off the plate. 0-2. Just kind of let him know you're coming in there.
Matt Olson waiting on deck. 1-2 coming. He goes away with that cutter, and it's 2-2.
And Ozuna has always had big days against the Mets. He's having a monster year.
He's third in the National League in hitting, second in home runs, fifth in RBIs, second in on base, third in slugging. But he went 0 for 10 in the series just concluded against the Royals. Quick throw, and back is Albies. McGill's done a much better than average job of controlling the running game this year. Just 5 steals in 7 tries on his watch, and he's had a couple of pickoffs. 2-2 to Ozuna, and he just got a piece of that one and caught Alvarez.
Caught him on the thigh. That hurts. Got above the shin guard, I believe.
Alvarez so banged up in recent days. He had the back spasms that took him out of the game on Friday. He came out of the game yesterday with a hamstring cramp, and now he gets drilled in the thigh by that foul ball.
I've got him on the inside ankle, inside part of the ankle.
But it hit his left knee, inside left knee, carried him to his right ankle.
2 for the price of 1.
Well, at least it balances things out.
I'm sure he's not feeling that at all right now.
I mean, even when you're 22, you have to figure when your season is over as a catcher, you basically spend a month in the cold tub.
Right. Got to be careful here.
2-2 coming. Struck him out. Got him with the slider. So McGill fans Ozuna for the second out.
Well, because he does enough inside, this slider, which is away, but not completely away, not completely down, but it's set up by all those pitches inside.
Absolutely. And I can just, that was a great shot of the ball coming in when you can see the zoom on it. He has a tight circle on his slider.
Now a red hot Matt Olson swings and misses at a first pitch curveball, 0-1. Olson has a 19 game on base streak. And during that stretch, he's got an 1168 OPS. So his bat that was slumbering for a while has really picked up. 29 home runs this year after 54 a year ago. And McGill starts him off with 2 curveballs in a row to get ahead 0-2.
Olson has that swing, a 1-zone swing. He does get on top at times, but he's got like a spit out of a computer. He loves that ball down.
0-2 coming, up and away, 1-2. Here was Matt Olson's home run against Tyler McGill back in July. McGill gave him 3 home runs in that game in 6 innings. That matched up against Schwellenbach that day and lost 4-0. Albies at first with 2 down. 1-2 coming to Olson. And he blew him away with a fastball. 98. Serious gas from McGill when he strikes out Ozuna and Olson back to back. No score after 1. Brandon Nimmo leads off the second inning and takes a fastball strike from Spencer Schwellenbach. Nimmo 2 for 14 in the Milwaukee series, but he had the big hit yesterday in the first inning that put the Mets in front. And they would stay in front all day. Goes after a curveball and misses, and it's 0-2.
Brandon's had really a peculiar season. A terrific first half, not the average, but the second half has just kind of fallen apart. He's still driven in 88 runs.
A lot of that came out of the leadoff spot early in the season. Nimmo, Lindor, and Alonso all come into the day with 88 runs batted in. Alonso on deck, J.D. Martinez behind him. And Schwellenbach blows away Nimmo. 3rd straight strikeout for Schwellenbach. 1 down in the second.
Boy, he tied up Brandon. This is a sweep swing. Look at that. Completely tied up.
He's got that little cutter. It just moves about 6-8 inches. He's thrown 16 pitches now, 14 strikes.
I believe that is now referred to as a sword.
A sword?
Oh, really?
Sword, yeah. Here's Pete Alonso. And Pete takes sinker for ball 1. Pete just 1 hit in his last 17 at bats. This could really use some thunder from Alonso today. Pulled down to 3rd, handled by Urshela. And the throw across the diamond is true. 2 away. Mets have played 11 games against the Braves, and it's been very even. Mets have pitched better in their bullpen, but the Braves starters have been better. What's interesting there is that the Mets have had 4 come-from-behind wins against the Braves, and the Braves haven't had any come-from-behind wins against the Mets.
Yeah, because of that bullpen.
There's J.D. Martinez, who broke out of his long slump yesterday with a couple of hits.
Yep.
Sparked by a double off the third base bag.
I think JD is the wild card in the deck in today's game. He swung the bat really well yesterday.
Snapped an 0 for 36 stretch, the second longest 0 for a position player in Mets history. But now that he's pointed back in the right direction with his experience, you hope.
This is a Roy Halladay start. 18 pitches, 16 strikes now.
0-2 coming. Goes away with a cutter. Ball and 2 strikes.
Scott Barry behind the plate. Good balls and strikes umpire. He's appeared in 4 postseasons. This feels like a postseason game.
Oh, they're giving regular signs.
Slider misses away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So no pitch calm. Aha.
2-2 to Martinez, and he got a piece of it and fouled it back to stay in the at bat.
He wanted that ball away, and he got it up out of the strike zone.
Tyrone Taylor hitting 7th in the order today after batting 9th yesterday. He's on deck. And Martinez hits one out to center, easing back as Harris. He's there, and that retires the side. Some of the Braves jerseys from over the years. Some featuring tomahawks, some not. Well, both managers know how important it is to win the first game of this doubleheader, even though each needs only one to get into the postseason. The question is, if you fall behind in this game, what do you do? Do you husband resources for game 2, or do you go all out to win game 1? It's going to be a question for both managers as this day goes along. Or a Soler leads off and takes a strike.
How far you're behind is really the key. And for Carlos Mendoza, remember, in McGill's last start, he was pitching fine. No walks, 1 run through 4 innings, took him out. So he's a guy that he might pull the plug on earlier than later.
That was the Sunday night game against the Phillies, where the Mets beat Zach Wheeler. They got 5 scoreless innings from their bullpen that day. The one caveat to the Mets situation is this. The Braves, if they win 1 game or 2 games, they're going to Milwaukee. Or excuse me, they're going to San Diego, right?
Yes.
The Mets, if they win 1, they go to Milwaukee. If they win 2, they go to San Diego.
Yes. And
given the way that the Brewers played against the Mets this year, I think they might rather go to San Diego. 1-2 to Soler, and the slider taken down. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Soler came over from the Giants at the trading deadline. He was strictly DHing with San Francisco and having an okay year. He's been much better since coming to the Braves. And that's really true of all the fill-in players that the Braves have picked up. Laureano, Urshela, they've all done better since coming to Atlanta. And Soler nubs one to the right side, and Alonso will take it himself. And that's the first out.
I mean, not reminiscent of 2021 when they got all those outfielders who came over. Rosario, Soler was one of them then.
Jock Peterson.
All those guys made an exponential jump, but these guys have been solid.
Wasn't Duvall part of that too?
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
good
got 4
call.
guys because that's the year they lost Acuna, and they had to really scrape to get a team together that wound up winning the World Series. Here's Ramon Laureano, one of these fill-ins. He's taken over the regular job with Jared Kelenic struggling so mightily in the second half. Laureano began the year with Cleveland. He had a 494 OPS with Cleveland, 818 as a Brave over 65 games.
He did not drive in a run in Cleveland.
He hits one slowly to the left side. Tough play for Vientos. The glove and fire, not in time. And Laureano beats it out for the first hit of the game. So a soft contact base hit for Laureano.
Well, you're playing that third baseman deep, and that, you know, and the odds are you're going to have more routine balls hit or hard balls hit as opposed to those kind of bleeders right there. So I agree with playing the third baseman back.
So now Travis d'Arnaud, the former Met, has just one hit in his last 15 at bats, but that one was a walk-off home run Saturday night against the Royals. And ever since the Mets let him go, he has been a huge thorn in the Mets side.
Yeah, he's had a little tough year, a down year, 235 on the year.
Braves were in a big drought on Saturday. 1-1 game in the ninth, and then d'Arnaud ended it with one swing.
Oh boy, fastball right down the pipe. And that's a big win for the Braves.
Short lead at first for Laureano, and a ground ball hit to third. Diving stop Vientos, but he bobbles it on the transfer, and everybody's safe. Now Vientos made a terrific stop, and his first thought was to go to second. Then he thought maybe go to first, but then he couldn't make the clean transfer, and he got nobody.
Really a nice diving play right here. He looks to second base, and then just on the exchange, couldn't get it done.
McGill has faced 7 hitters, 4 balls have been on the ground, but 2 soft hits here, and he's in trouble.
So back-to-back infield hits, and that'll bring up Gio Urshela, who homered yesterday against the Royals. And Urshela, .619 OPS with Detroit, .713 with Atlanta.
Get their first opportunity with runners in scoring position, where they failed abysmally in the last series against Kansas City.
And a foul ball off the first pitch cutter, 0-1.
Sun's popping out.
Sun in Atlanta? We used to rain. Iglesias trying to keep Laureano close at second, and McGill picks off the outside corner with the fastball, and it's 0-2.
Urshela last 10 games, 5 multi-hit games.
He had a good series against the Mets when the Tigers came in early April. It's 5 for 13 against the Mets this year. Alvarez getting down to block that slider in the dirt. Orlando Arcia waiting on deck. Laureano at second, d'Arnaud at first with 1 out. 1-2 to Urshela, and he drives one toward the right field corner, slicing, foul.
Gosh, we didn't get a sign from the right field umpire.
First base umpire is Lance Barksdale, and he made no signal at all. The ball disappeared from our view as it went into the corner.
That's probably why he didn't make the call. It went in the seats. No need.
I guess that makes it a foul ball.
We can't see in that corner, both left and right field corners.
Well, Lance doesn't know that. Well, we'll send a message down there next time. He'll help us out. 1-2 to Urshela, and he struck him out. Got him with a slider. So McGill fans Urshela. That's the second out. Third strikeout for Tyler.
2 of them by the slider to Ozuna, and here to Urshela. That was a good one right there.
So now Orlando Arcia. If you talk about Braves struggling with runners in scoring position, Arcia has been the poster boy, hitting .159 with runners in scoring position this year. Batting here with 2 out and 2 on. And a late swing foul, 0-1. Arcia has had a good home run season. He's hit 17 this year, but overall his numbers are way down from last year when he hit .264. Laureano at second, d'Arnaud at first with 2 out. And Arcia Takes a fastball that just missed. Ball and a strike. Well, the Mets started this new eye black look yesterday. They got a win, and so naturally they've gone back to it today.
I would have not changed the design. The design has wins in it.
Up and into Arcia, 2 balls and a strike.
I think they even added to the design today, to tell you the truth.
Well, it's a double header, so you need a little extra.
There you go. Okay.
Big spot for here from McGill against the number 9 hitter. And Arcia pounds that fastball into the ground. It's 2-2. The most helpless people on earth today are the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes. Can you just imagine?
They will be fervent rooters in the second game for whoever wins the first game. 2 out, 2 on, 2-2 to Arcia. And a half swing. Did he go? He went around strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for McGill to get out of soft contact trouble in the second. No score. Well, of course, that's a .634 winning percentage for the Mets since June 3rd, not .534. Best in baseball.
It's right next to the 6, Gary.
You know, sometimes if your fingers are too fat.
That's right.
You know, you're trying to hit the 6 and it hits the 5 instead. Tyrone Taylor leading off for the Mets in the 3rd against Spencer Schwellenbach. And knows one foul. That one may curve back fair, and it does. And Schwellenbach makes the toss, not in time. Great hustle by Taylor, who realized immediately the Massey shot that he had hit was going to curl back into fair territory, and he beats it out for an infield hit. One of the strangest hits you're ever going to see.
I think Olsen came off the bag. There it is, coming back in. He would have been better to throw it over the top. Olsen stayed on the base.
Schwellenbach is a great athlete. It was the decision making. Look at the ball, the cover torn off of it.
Can I tell you something? There are a lot of hitters for whom that would have been an easy out at first base. Taylor takes off early, and he steals the base easily. So Taylor discombobulating the Braves with his hustle down to first base, and now stealing a bag, his 11th of the year, to put a runner in scoring position.
Well, the Mets have speed as well, and I felt this game that it's going to come down to they're going to push the envelope.
And they did it yesterday with 3 stolen bases. Now Alvarez has a chance to get the first run in, and he grounds one to the left side. That'll advance the runner. Arcia makes the play, but with the ball hit behind Taylor, he's able to advance to 3rd.
Taylor got a really good jump, good lead and a good jump, and a ball not hit hard to advance to 3rd.
So the Braves will bring their infield in. Mets with a chance to get the first run on the board in the 3rd inning. Harrison Bader in the lineup for just the 2nd time in the last 6 games. It has been a huge struggle for Harrison the last month and a half. 10 hits in his last 80 at bats. And he grounds one toward the hole, but cut off there by Urshela. And he makes the throw to first in time. So Bader jumping on the first pitch and hits a grounder to 3rd. And Taylor has to hold at 3rd base.
Well, he tied him up inside, came after him in. I was kind of surprised that they would maybe throw sliders to Bader, who's been kind of pulling off of late.
So now Lindor with 2 out takes first pitch curveball for a strike. Lindor grounded out to second base his first time up. So Taylor hustles his way to 3rd base. Bader unable to drive him in, and now Lindor trying to pick him up. And Lindor swings over the top of the curveball, and it's 0-2.
Now Taylor, he can get halfway down that line because Urshela's so far off in the shortstop position. Breaking ball in the dirt, you got to be ready to read it.
Will he go back to 3 straight sliders?
This is Schwellenbach's 10th hitter. He's been ahead 0-2 on 6 of the 10.
A ball in the dirt, you just have to beat the pitcher to home plate. That's really what it is for Taylor.
Well outside with a splitter. Ball and 2 strikes.
Schwellenbach keeps looking at Taylor, so he's irritated that Taylor's so far off. Hang with him.
He can come further down the line as far away as Urshela's playing. And Lindor lays off the outside fastball, and it's 2-2. Two coming, and he pulls one over the bag. Right there is Olson, and he makes the play to retire the side. Harris grounded out to short his first time up. No score as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And McGill fires a sinker that misses low for ball 1. Harris, Albies, and Ozuna second time around the batting order against McGill, who gave up a walk in the first, 2 infield hits in the second. He struck out 4 in the first 2 innings. And Harris swings and misses at another good sinker, and it's 1-1.
A lot of good swing and miss so far off McGill. It's a good sign.
McGill is working on 7 days rest. He last pitched a week ago Sunday against the Phillies. And in his career, when he's had a lot of rest, 7 or more days, his ERA is 3.78, which is a full run lower than his ERA in other starts. So he's rested, he's throwing hard, and pitching with conviction early in this game. 1-2 coming to Harris, and he came inside with a slider. No swing, says Laz Diaz. 2-2.
Yeah, that's been the big thing, hasn't it, Gary? Since he's come back from AAA, Keith, so aggressive, going after hitters, conviction on all his pitches. You didn't always see that with Taylor.
And he's throwing more fastballs too.
Yep.
And he's developed a sinker with the 4-seamer.
Just got a piece of that one.
Sorry, Gary.
He was very heavy on the 4-seamer against the Phils. And he uses it there, and Harris fouls it off. 2-2. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Guys, we talked to Tyler McGill the other day, and he said getting sent down to AAA gave him the most confidence that he's ever had as a pitcher. He said some analytics put me in a box, and there were things I thought I couldn't throw. Going down, really learning how to pitch and read swings has changed the way he thinks the game.
Just past the dive of Lindor, and Harris able to sneak a single up the middle. Got on the curveball and hit it just beyond the reach of Lindor, and that's the 3rd hit for the Braves, the first that's reached the outfield.
A little kept his hands back, kept his shoulders in, and that's the key. Let the breaking ball break into your bat. Don't rush out after it. 10 stolen bases on the year for Harris. He missed some time, a lot of time, but he's caught 6 times.
Here's Ozzie Albies. Braves don't do a lot of base stealing. They were last in the National League in steals this year as Albies went around on the half swing.
Well, they were one of the most prolific home run hitting teams last season, so they've kind of carried that over into this year. They're always waiting for the 2-run home run, 3-run home run.
Even in a season compromised by injury, they still finished 2nd in the National League in home runs. Ball and a strike to Albies, who walked his first time up. I mean, last year they had Olson hitting 54. He was held at 29.
Pretty good when you're held to 29.
Acuña's missed most of the season. Albies was out for 2 months. Harris was out for 2 months. Sean Murphy was out for 2 months. Call strike to Albies. I mean, it's an amazing thing that the Braves are even in position to be getting to the postseason today. I mean, they'd won 6 straight National League East titles. With all the injuries, it seemed as though it was going to be far-fetched for them to make it back to the postseason.
That's why one of the reasons I feel that Brian Snitker could be, he's getting overshadowed by a lot of the other managers, Mendoza, Murphy, and Schultz, but he's done a heck of a job with this club. It's been decimated.
Didn't even mention Austin Riley and Spencer Strider.
Well, I was just going to say that they carried a mantra after Riley got injured. There was no Acuna, no Riley, no Strider, no problem.
Unfortunately, they've had to add to that list at times this year, but they're actually more intact now than they've been in a while, with Albies coming back. 1-2 coming, and the breaking ball hit deep to left. Back goes Nimmo, back to the warning track, and it's out of here. Ozzie Albies goes deep, right on right. His 10th home run of the year, a 2-run shot, and it's the Braves who jump in front first. 2-0 Atlanta.
Keith, he's been pulling off that slider, but if you throw one in the inside part of the plate, you're compromised.
Well, you see where Alvarez is set up. That's a hanger. And you're right, Ronnie. He was set up. He's been pulling off that slider, but he hung it on the inner half. Don't think these players aren't fired up.
Well, they all know exactly what's at stake here. Everybody wants to get to the postseason, but both teams are fully aware that whoever wins this first game will be in a much better place than a team that might win the second. A liner caught by Vientos with a snow cone, and Ozuna retired 1 out.
Well, you see the grip. He's on that side of that slider, and it's just a spinner. Stays right on the inside part. When you throw a breaking ball like that to the hitter, it's almost like it sits on a tee waiting to be hit.
Can I ask you a weird question?
Yeah.
Why does a slider hang as opposed to break late like it's supposed to?
Well, because you are trying to throw it so hard, when you don't catch the right seams, it just spins right in the middle of the plate and doesn't break at all. It has more of this kind of spin, sideways spin, than the vertical spin.
1 out now. Matt Olson has struck out his first time up, and he skies one foul off the left side. 0-1. No, Ozzie Albies has now hit 21 home runs against the Mets, his most against any opponent. He had been 4 for 31 since coming off the injured list. But that is a big marker in this game. Backdoor curveball misses to Olson, a ball and a strike.
Alvarez just threw a ball at the feet of McGill. It's in center field.
Can't have 2 balls on the field at once.
No.
It leads to a lot of confusion. Olson takes a curveball at his feet, and it's 2-1.
You had your experience with Mackey Sasser, who had a hard time throwing the ball. Did that bother you when you were pitching? Did it throw you off?
Of course, it was difficult, but you really felt for Mackey because it was it was kind of a mental thing for him.
Olson hits it sharply, and that'll go into right center for a base hit. So 4 balls in a row hit hard against McGill. Single by Harris, the homer by Albies, the line out by Ozuna, and now Olson bangs a hit up the middle.
Likes the ball down, folks. You can't pitch him down there. That is right to his wheelhouse.
And now we get very quickly to one of those situations we were talking about with the managers.
That's right.
How quickly do you spend resources in a game where you're behind when you have another chance to win a game later?
It's only 2-0 though. You're in this game. I mean, that's just they got the first taste of it with the 2-run home run. Your biggest decision right now is, does Tyler McGill have it or doesn't he have it? If he doesn't have it, you can't leave him out there.
So Alex Young throwing a ball against the wall, but nobody warming up in conventional fashion, at least not yet.
Remember, a lot of soft contact until this inning, but they've started to hit the ball harder now. Even the Ozuna out was hit hard.
Second time around the batting order, they've all hit it hard. Now Jorge Soler, who cued one down to first base his first time up. And Soler takes a big rip at a fastball, 0-1.
I've got to believe, as far as the bullpen is concerned for the Mets, if there's going to have to be a long man, it's going to be Budo today.
I mean, if you win the first game, then you throw all the guys that you don't really need in big spots in the second game.
Or you send someone that's in the bullpen out,
Right.
and you have a guy waiting here to make a start from AAA.
Which I think is the case. But all of that remains to be seen.
Got to win first.
First, McGill's got to find his way through this inning. 0-2 to Soler. And he almost threw that one to the backstop. 1-2. So McGill, who looked very sharp in the first 2 innings, not looking quite the same here in the third.
Become very breaking ball heavy. The last 6 or 7 batters, you haven't seen a lot of that two-seamer inside.
And that slider misses away. 2-2. So here's a fact that I would not have guessed. Ozzie Albies in his career now is 43 at bats right on right, 5 home runs. Now I don't know whether he hit right on right against knuckleballers or what circumstances other than this most recent one. Soler hits one in the air to center. Bader barely has to move. And that's the second out. Tagging at first Olsen, but he'll stay put.
Well, knuckleballers, or I have seen Albies hit right-handed when he's faced a position player late in games and blowouts.
Maybe that's it. Put up some big numbers against third baseman.
There you go.
So 2 out. Now Ramon Laureano. Laureano reached on an infield hit his first time up. And he lines one into right field for a base hit. Olsen pulls in at second. So the 4th hit of the inning for the Braves. 2 on and 2 out for d'Arnaud.
You just don't know what events are going to transpire in the course of the season. Laureano was let go by the A's, by the White Sox, and here he is batting 6th for the Atlanta Braves on the last day of the season, now with a chance to go to the postseason. It's crazy.
In 31 games with Cleveland, he hit 1 home run.
Oh, Cleveland, sorry.
Yes, and 9 home runs here with the Braves.
So 2 out of 2 on to now d'Arnaud, who reached on an infield hit his first time up. A diving stop by Vientos, who couldn't get the ball out of his glove. So this is really a moment of truth for McGill. You just can't afford to fall much further behind the way the Mets have struggled against Schwellenbach. And d'Arnaud bounces one foul on a first pitch fastball, 0-1.
I'll tell you, the Braves are taking some hellacious swings.
You only need to win 1, but whoever loses this first game is going to have to use a frontline starter. Sale for the Braves, Severino for the Mets in game 2, and then not have that guy available for the first game of the postseason if you get there tomorrow. That's why the first game is so important.
Ooh, where was that pitch?
Scott Berry must have ruled it outside. Ball and a strike.
Twice now that Alvarez has sit inside. A strike on the outside part has not been called by Barry.
And that one kicks away from Alvarez, and the runners advance to second and third.
No,
Not sure what happened there.
trying to frame the ball and missed it.
It's inexplicable. He's trying to frame, and he lifted the glove before he caught the ball.
So now 2 in scoring position. A 2-1 count to d'Arnaud. And the slider catches the outside corner. That's a big call right there. 2-2.
It's a big pitch right there.
It's like the biggest start in your life has become this is the biggest out in his life right now.
Olsen at third, Laureano at second. 2-2 to d'Arnaud. And he struck him out. So McGill limits the damage, throwing a sinker past d'Arnaud, but Albies' 2-run homer gives the Braves a 2-0 lead. Nothing like seeing video of Hank Aaron. 755 home runs. Number 44 immortalized.
He is so great He had so many great nicknames, but is the Hammer one of the best nicknames of all time?
Hammer and Hank.
Oh.
And the great number, too. I'm sorry. 44. That's a power hitter's number.
Fourth inning, Mets now down 2-0. Jose Iglesias leads off against Spencer Schwellenbach. Takes a slider for a strike, 0-1. Schwellenbach, with his 3 scoreless innings today, continues to dominate the Mets. Iglesias hits it sharply, but right at Albies, and that's the first out. Mets' only base runner in this game came in very unusual fashion as Tyrone Taylor hit what looked like a foul ball that swung back into fair territory and beat it out. Got to third with 1 out. Mets couldn't get him in. Braves respond with a 2-run homer from Albies, and now Schwellenbach working with the lead for the first time, facing Mark Vientos.
That's now 11 out of 12 first pitch strikes.
I mean, he's not going to walk people.
He's proven that.
Yep. Right back to Schwellenbach, and the former college shortstop makes the play, 2 out. I mean, Schwellenbach is such an amazing story. We talked about this last week. He was a shortstop at Nebraska. They used him as a closer his last year there. He threw 31 innings in college. He threw 110 innings in the minors. And now he's making his 21st big league start, and he's pitching like he's a 10-year veteran.
He started out in high A Rome this year.
It's phenomenal. Brandon Nimmo takes a fastball high. A rare first pitch ball from Schwellenbach, who struck Nimmo out his first time up. And now behind in the count, 2-0.
Motion doesn't get any simpler than Schwellenbach, who just kind of a modified hybrid, throwing from the stretch and the windup. Very easy mechanics to copy and repeat.
I mean, who knew when Strider went down that they had a substitute Spencer?
It has been everything that Strider was. Maybe not the big strikeout numbers, but he's a guy drafted in the 2nd round, 59th player taken. Went under the knife right away. Tommy John surgery.
I mean, they identified him as a pitching prospect. He was he won the John Olerud Award in college, which is for the best two-way player, because he had pitched as a junior. But most people saw him as a shortstop, and the Braves have gotten the benefit. Nimmo just got a piece of that splitter and stays on the at-bat.
Barely hung in there.
So splitter away. Does he come back with that little cutter he got him before inside?
Two. Goes back to the splitter and misses. Full count. First 3-ball count for Schwellenbach today. He's averaged 1.8 walks per 9 innings this season. Amazing for a rookie. 3-2. And he strikes him out. Schwellenbach picks up his 4th strikeout as he sets the Mets down 1-2-3 after getting the lead. 2-0 Atlanta in the 4th. Gio Urshela leads off against Tyler McGill and pounds a sinker into the ground, 0-1. Urshela struck out his first time up. McGill worked out of 2nd inning trouble caused by a couple of infield hits by striking out the 8 and 9 hitters Urshela and Arcia, but got into immediate trouble in the 3rd. A leadoff hit by Harris, and then Albies took him deep. And then McGill had to throw a lot more pitches to get around a couple more hits in that inning. So he had a 30-pitch 3rd inning. And about to throw his 70th pitch of the day. And he strikes out Urshela for a 2nd time. That's 6 strikeouts now for McGill, 1 out of the 4th.
That was a total overmatch, that at bat.
Arcia struck out his first time up. And a bad swing at a slider, 0-1.
Oh, that's exactly the swing you'd have if you swung the bat in a swimming pool. It's the same swing.
That's the exact swing you'd take when you're completely fooled.
Exactly. Happens. It happens.
You ever swing a bat in a swimming pool?
Yes.
Like as an exercise or just to see what it felt like?
Just fooling around as you're chasing your brother around the pool, maybe.
I mean, I could see where that could be a strengthening exercise, right? Swinging a bat in the pool.
Look at you, always thinking about working out.
Just trying to live a little longer, Ronnie.
Hang in there, Gare. I hear you.
Double headers on Mondays. I don't know if that helps.
Well, depends what happens on Tuesday. 1-2 to Arcia. And he struck him out. High heat from McGill.
Boy, oh boy, 2 overmatches in a row. I mean,
dominant at bats against the 8 and 9 hitters.
Four-seamer.
Yeah, he struck out Urshela on the same pitch.
Ouch.
So 2 out of nobody on, and now Michael Harris, who had the base hit up the middle that started the 3rd inning. 18 hits in his last 37 at bats, and he flies this one out to center. Bader has room onto the warning track. He's got it. Pete Alonso leads off the 5th inning for New York. 2-0 Atlanta, and he takes curveball for ball 1. Pete grounded out to third base his first time up. J.D. Martinez and Tyrone Taylor to follow against Spencer Schwellenbach, who's allowed just 1 base runner. An infield hit by Taylor in the 3rd. And that falls behind on Alonso, 2-0. So second straight batter that Schwellenbach's fallen behind 2-0 after throwing nothing but strikes early on. And there's a strike to Alonso, 2-1. And Pete takes a rip of the fastball and foul tips it. 2-2.
2-0, 2-1, take 2-2 by him. Kid has the ability to add a little on that fastball when he needs to.
He's been really good against everybody else, but he's taken his game to another level against the Mets. I mean, he's now worked 21 innings. 18 innings against the Mets. 1 run, 6 hits. 19 strikeouts. That's hit hard through the hole. A base hit for Alonso. And the Mets get the leadoff man on in the 5th.
3 straight fastballs came with a 3-2 slider.
Yep, did not break much. Stayed out over the plate.
Tying run at the plate with J.D. Martinez, who flied out to center his first time up. And J.D. takes first pitch cutter for a strike, 0-1. J.D. had a good at bat first time up. Hit the ball solidly to center field. Goes after a cutter there and comes up empty, and it's 0-2.
Well, we got a nice crowd that just filled up this park a little for this 1 o'clock Monday doubleheader.
It's not an easy neighborhood to park in on a weekday afternoon.
Yeah.
But these games are of such great import. People have found their way here to the Battery.
Yep, this is for all the marbles.
Well, there are actually 2 sets of marbles.
Don't go into any detail, please.
0-2 coming. I mean, Major League Baseball has decreed that the team that wins the first game should not celebrate between games.
Yeah.
So if one team wins the first game and another wins the second game, they'll both be celebrating when the doubleheader's over.
Right. After a loss.
How bizarre. 1-2 coming. Line toward the middle. That's a base hit for Martinez. Alonso to second. He'll stop there. Ball died on the outfield grass, but Alonso wasn't going to take any chances. So the Mets have the first 2 men on in the 5th, down 2-0.
Just let go with one hand. Slider right where you want it. But a little flick of the wrist. Let go. Extend that bat out a little further when you let go of that top hand.
So JD now with 3 hits in his last 6 at bats. First and second, nobody out. Here's Tyrone Taylor, and bluffing a bunt.
I don't know if he's bluffing. I don't think it's put on. I think he was doing that on his own. Get the third baseman in, Garrett. Opens up that hole.
Well, Olsen is in as well at first. I can't imagine the Mets would be sacrificing in this spot. And then Schwellenbach misses low and away, and it's 2-0. Swing the bat, says Carlos. Swing the bat.
It's a good time to swing it here. 2-0. You could get a fastball. Good fastball hitter.
Urshela and Olsen both move back. 2-0 to Taylor. And Tyrone fouls off the fastball. 2-1. Well, the Diamondbacks have completed their season. The only way they get into the postseason is if one of these teams wins both games today. 1 win for the Mets, they're in. 1 win for the Braves, they're in. 2-1 to Taylor. Foul back. 2-2.
What a season for the Diamondbacks. 5 more wins than they had last year when they went to the World Series.
2 straight cutters there that were out over the plate. Flat breakers. He just fouled them back. Had good cuts on him.
Maybe he needs to cue one off the end of the bat. It worked for him first time up. Alonso at second, Martinez at first with nobody out. And Taylor goes down swinging. Curveball from Schwellenbach for the first out of the inning.
You know, Ron, you mentioned that slider of his, that he gets good down break.
He does. He's got 2 different ones. He's got that little cutter that he can work away, and then when he wants to go for the strikeout, he can really bury it out of the strike zone.
And he throws it, well, it's almost like a curve ball, really.
I think that was his curveball.
Yes.
There.
So now Alvarez with 2 on and 1 out. Alvarez grounded out to short his first time. And he dribbles one up the third baseline. Schwellenbach with the bare hand play and gets it. Yeah, he played shortstop.
Yeah, he's a good athlete.
2 out. The runners advance to second and third.
Boy, with the speed of Alvarez there, he didn't really have to bare hand that, but you know, this is a really crunch time right here. Everybody's really on point.
So Harrison Bader gets another crack at it. Bader came up in the 3rd inning with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. And now he's going to come up with the tying runs in scoring position and 2 out. He grounded out to third base his first time up.
They're going to have a conversation out there, Ron.
If Jesse Winker was hotter, do you think he'd think about it here, the manager?
He'd have to.
I know it's early.
But Winker is 3 for his last 42.
So I think if Winker was hotter, he'd be in the lineup.
There you go. It's even better.
Bader's starting for just the 2nd time in the last 6 games, and we gave you the numbers earlier. Since August 15th, he's 10 for 81. But boy, would a base hit here be huge. And Bader again tacks the first pitch and fouls off the fastball.
Remember that first half of the season, Bader had a lot of 2-out base hits, clutch 2-out RBI singles.
51 RBIs for the year. Alonso at third, Martinez at second with 2 down. And Bader fouls back another high fastball. So he can hit the high fastball, but then they throw it up out of the zone.
That's right. He hasn't been able to lay off that.
Remember, Bader would have had a big hit on Friday night in Milwaukee, save for the great catch by Churio.
Wound up being a sacrifice fly as the Mets were trying to come back in that game.
Will he throw that curve in the dirt?
Sails that fastball. 1-2.
It's the first time I've seen him overthrow the ball in this game. Pretty polished young pitcher.
Bader didn't play against Schwellenbach in either of his first 2 starts against the Mets. So just his second at bat against him. And Bader flies one down the right field line foul, and that'll go out of play.
That's that flat slider that stays flat like a cutter. I think he might. Everything's been up. It's a good time for that curve that in the dirt that struck out Taylor.
Hardest working inning for Schwellenbach. This will be his 22nd pitch. And Bader hits a ground ball. Albies comes in to get it. And Schwellenbach works his way out of trouble. Mets got the first 2 men on, but could not get him around. And now Albies will get another crack at Tyler McGill. His home run was his 10th of the season and the 5th in his career right on right. And we did some research. 2 of them were against pitchers, against non-pitchers. D. Strange Gordon and Albert Almora. He had one last week against Darren McCacken of the Marlins. He's a pitcher. And the other one came against Ryan Harper. Remember him with the Nationals?
Yeah.
Also a pitcher. That was in 2021. Harper is a curveball pitcher, and Ozzie asked Ryan Snitker if he could bat righty on righty against him, and he said yes, and he had a home run against him.
3-0.
Good scouting by Albies.
Do not want to have a leadoff walk here.
Marcelo Zuna on deck, and then Matt Olson, the 2 big boppers in this lineup. And McGill missed for ball 4. So after a very solid 4th inning, McGill issues a 4-pitch walk to start the 5th, and Albies is on base for the 3rd time.
Now remember, the first time Albies was first at bat, he walked. He didn't attempt a stolen base. He's 8 out of 9 this year. I have a hunch he's going to try to sneak one here.
That really has not been their game, so I'd be surprised. Here's Ozuna, who struck out and lined out to 3rd. He's also got that broken wrist he's still recovering from, as the up and mid on that wrist.
And he has not got an aggressive lead at all.
Ozuna hitless in his last 12 at bats, but he hit the ball hard his last time up. Cutter misses low and away. A ball and a strike. He'll go in with a slide step that time.
I just think, Keith, with coming off a fractured wrist, he slides head first all the time.
Yep.
Maybe just doesn't want to take that shot.
Same reason he's not batting left-handed. Swing and a miss at an upstairs cutter. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Also, like early, where there's no outs, keep that first baseman holding on the base runner at first, and the way they're playing the second baseman up the middle, that is leaves a big hole.
1-2 to Ozuna, and that one missed up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Huascar Brazoban, first man up in the Mets bullpen. McGill now up over 80 pitches. And Ozuna hits a double play ball. Lindor with the flip. Iglesias with the turn for the easy 6-4-3 double play. Only the 3rd ground ball double play turn behind Tyler McGill this season. And that's huge, because it gets Matt Olson to play with the bases empty.
That was so textbook. From the way that Lindor handled it, an easy chance, but just sprinted it over to Iglesias to make it look easy.
Olson had a base hit up the middle his last time up. 1 for 2 on the day. And he pops this one foul, backing out of play.
Really playing Olson for the pull on the infield, and I couldn't agree more. With 2 outs, he's given the left side. If you want to poke it over there, it's fine with me. You don't want him launching one out of the ballpark.
And the curveball dribbled out in front of the plate. McGill picks it up and throws wide, and Alonso stayed on the bag. Lance Barksdale with the call. We'll see if the Braves challenge. But if Pete indeed did stay on the bag, that's a remarkable play.
He did.
Gill knew he had goosed that ball, but Alonso saves him.
No, this is a great angle right here. But he just, oh, wow, what a nice play. I mean, beautiful play by Pete, and also a pickup as well. Well done.
The only way you make that play is you have to anticipate that you might not get a good throw.
You know, he actually got 2 feet on the bag.
It was crazy.
He had the left toe on, and then he kicked it with his right foot just to make sure. Lindor toward the hole. Albies down to his knees, throws him out. So one spectacular defensive play begets another, as Lindor is robbed by Albies for the first out in the 6th.
Good. Go ahead, Keith.
Albies is a fine fielder. Good hands.
Good positioning there. They had Albies way in the hole, playing Lindor to pull on the ground.
And didn't rush the throw.
So one hard out and nobody on. Now Jose Iglesias is 0 for 2 today. Struck out and grounded out and takes curveball for a strike. Mets have had 3 hits against Spencer Schwellenbach. 2 of them came in the 5th. They got the first 2 men aboard against Schwellenbach. Mets have had 2 scoring chances in this game, and both times Harrison Bader has been in position to get runs in. Ground ball hit to the right side, and Albies waits on it and throws out Iglesias 2 out. But it goes back to the decisions that managers have to make, right? You decided to go with your best defensive outfield today and put Bader and Taylor both in there, and so you end up with Bader, who's been a nice cold hitter, coming up in key spots.
Yep. Look at that 1 to 20 in the walk K ratio. Unbelievable.
Here's Vientos with 2 out and nobody on. Marcus struck out and hit a comebacker, and he takes a first pitch curveball for ball 1.
Schwellenbach has gotten 17 outs so far in this game, 11 on the ground.
His first start against the Mets, he was a strikeout machine. He fanned 11 in 7 innings in that game. Only 4 strikeouts last week, and he's got 5 today. Vientos grounds that one to the left side, and Arcia sweeps it up and throws him out. A 7-pitch inning for Spencer Schwellenbach. Still 2-0 Atlanta in the 6th. Home 6th inning, Jorge Soler leads off against Tyler McGill, and he hits it sharply, but right at Lindor on 1 hop. 1 pitch and 1 retired for McGill in the 6th, and we check in with Steve.
We do know one thing with Francisco Lindor as he manages this back issue, that it's likely going to be something he's going to have to deal with for the duration of this season, however long that may be. That being said, these last couple of days he looks to the naked eye like he's moving much better. He had told me the other day that he has to go back into the clubhouse 3 to 4 times every game to work on his back and do exercises, but so far today I have not seen him leave the dugout much. He also said that he had a heating belt that he was wearing a lot. Have not seen that on him at all today. So good signs about potentially that injury moving in a positive direction today.
It's all good. Laureano drives one deep center. Back goes Bader to the warning track at the fence. It's out of here. Ramon Laureano with his 11th home run of the year, his 10th as a Brave, and it's 3-0 Atlanta. Tyler McGill had not allowed a home run in 5 starts since coming back from the minors, but he's given up 2 long balls today, and that's produced all 3 Atlanta runs.
Again, it's the slider that he's trying to get on the outside part. It was down. He went down and got it, Laureano. Not a lot of break on that pitch, but the pitch was down, and he powered it over that center field wall.
I think it had too much plate, Ron.
Yeah.
Laureano now 3 for 3 today. Had an infield hit, an opposite field single, and now he drives that home run to left center to give the Braves a little more cushion. Travis d'Arnaud is 1 for 2, an infield hit and a strikeout. And that fastball catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Don't look glum. There's another game after this one if it doesn't go well. Fly ball down the right field line, and now the slice away and go foul.
All right, here's the home run again from the side, and watch the shoulder. The front shoulder stays in. And that is when you stay in like that, if that breaking ball is on the outer half of the plate, you can cover it.
Laureano had an embarrassing play against the Mets that cost the Braves a game in New York. But he has been very solid for Atlanta coming down the stretch. Known more for his glove and his arm than his bat, but his bat has really been terrific for the Braves. Sinker fouled at the plate by d'Arnaud. Those 3 hits. Laureano's now hitting over 300 as a Brave with 10 home runs in 66 games. Alvarez took another shot. And d'Arnaud, who can commiserate, gave him a little pat.
Gary, he had no RBIs in 31 games for Cleveland, and he's come over here in his 66th game. He's driven in 33 runs.
Where'd it get you, Travis says. Got to me on the inside of the knee. I've been there, done that. 13 more years than you have. 1-2 to d'Arnaud.
Do you think Jerry Grody would have commiserated with d'Arnaud?
No. Seventh pitch of the at bat to d'Arnaud. And that slider misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGill being pushed through a 6th inning. This is part of managing this doubleheader today, knowing you only have to win 1 game. Saving as many resources as you can for game 2 if you're behind in game 1.
Well, it doesn't matter if you can't figure out the Schwellenbach puzzle. Doesn't change anything.
Got 3 more cracks at him.
You're right. Maybe 1.
Pitch number 9 coming to d'Arnaud. And he struck him out. Went upstairs with a fastball to strike him out for the 2nd time. 8 strikeouts now from McGill, 1 shy of a season high. Gio Urshela takes inside for ball 1. Urshela's been up twice, struck out both times. McGill has 6 of his 8 strikeouts against the lower third of the Braves batting order. And that's looped in center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So Urshela has the 8th Atlanta hit of the day, a 2-out single. And here comes Carlos Mendoza, and he's going to make a pitching change. With McGill right at 100 pitches, 1 shy of a season high, he'll come out and Huáscar Brazoban will come in. Now Tyler McGill pitching the biggest game of his life. A couple of mistakes that left the ballpark, and with Schwellenbach doing so well on the other side, that's enough to give the Braves the lead.
Well, let's take Schwellenbach out of it. Before you came into this game, if you got a quality start from Tyler McGill, you would have been happy, right? That was a decent effort to put you in a place to win the ball game. Problem is, the Mets haven't really hit the ball hard off Schwellenbach all afternoon.
Well, if you don't score any runs, I don't care what you do on the mound. The long ball got him today. The 2 home runs are the 3, all the 3 runs are on the board.
Now Huáscar Brazoban, who last pitched here in Atlanta last Tuesday, a scoreless inning, facing Orlando Arcia, and he comes up and in with a fastball. So McGill threw 100 pitches over 5 2/3, 8 hits, 3 runs so far, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Arcia struck out in his 2 at-bats against McGill, and he checks his swing on the changeup, and he did not swing. 2-0.
Your Brazoban, you have to retire the 9th place hitter. You cannot have Harris, Red Hot Harris, up in this inning.
Goes with the sinker and gets a swinging strike. 2-1. And now 3-1. Mets are still within range in this game. A little bit of light rain starts to fall. That's yanked foul. 3-2. I mean, of course it rained. It's Atlanta.
You didn't have to bring it up.
It's Chinatown, Jake.
You know, you didn't have to. You didn't have to bring it up.
Urshela gets set to run. Alonso's going to continue to hold him on. Three-2 coming to Arcia. And he flies that one foul. Again, the 3-2, and he walked him. So Braziban comes in and walks his first hitter. And that'll get Michael Harris to the plate with 2 men on, with a chance to expand the Atlanta lead. Harris has gone 1 for 3 today, singled and scored in front of Albies' home run in the 3rd. Then he hit one to the warning track in center field that Bader caught in the 4th. Two out and 2 on. Braziban trying to get a key out. And he misses below the knees with the sinker. Ball 1. Braziban has had some really good outings and some really walk-filled outings in his time with the Mets since being acquired at the trading deadline. And right now having trouble throwing strikes. Grimace looks grimaced.
Well, Braziban is one of those pitchers that everyone says the same thing. His stuff is good enough at this level to dominate if he could throw strikes.
I mean, what's a trip to Atlanta without a little rain? By the way, there was like no rain in the forecast today. Perfect, right?
Well, they do have a chemical fire around here going on now, so that could be an issue too.
Be careful with what happens here.
2-0 coming. And he misses low with a changeup, and now it's 3-0 to Harris with Albies on deck. And Braziban putting himself on the precipice of some serious trouble. Harris takes a strike, 3-1. Braziban sometimes feels he can better throw a strike with his changeup than he can with his fastball. And he threw another changeup and got a swinging strike, 3-2.
Go figure.
So now Urshela and Arcia will be running. Second straight full count for Braziban. He walked Arcia on a 3-2 pitch. Now he's gone full to Harris, a red hot hitter, 3-2. And he lines one to right field, but right there is Taylor to make the catch. So Harris hit it hard. Taylor makes the grab. The home run by Laureano makes it 3-0. We're going to the 7th inning. Braves 3, Mets nothing. It's a good look. Spencer Schwellenbach has changed his game plan as this game has gone along.
Oh, it's very interesting, right? That for seam usage gone down. When his last start last Tuesday, he was high 4-seam usage. So he can make changes because of his arsenal.
New right fielder for the Braves, Eli White, replaces Jorge Soler for defense. Brandon Nimmo leads off the 7th and holds the swing on the curveball. Ball 1. Nimmo, Alonso, and Martinez for the Mets against Schwellenbach, who has had the Mets number. 20 innings, 1 run. Topped foul up the first baseline, 1-1. Mets have had a couple of scoring chances today. They got a runner to third with 1 out in the 3rd. They got the first 2 men on in the 5th. But Schwellenbach was equal to the task each time. He had an easy 6th inning. 3 ground balls, 7 pitches. And now Nimmo struck out twice starting the 7th. And he hits one in the air to center field. Easy play for Harris. 1 out.
Yeah, the Mets are 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position in this game,
which makes them 3 for 30 over their last 5 games. Here's Alonso, who had a base hit through the hole into left his last time up. It was only the 2nd outfield putout behind Schwellenbach today. And Pete unloads one to center field. Back goes Harris into the gap. He'll get there and make the catch.
Ran that down. Got in enough on Pete there. Oh,
a little Michael Jordan action.
Look, wow.
So 2 quick outs on fly balls. And now J.D. Martinez, who had a base hit to center field his last time up. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Well, Schwellenbach went 7 innings against the Mets in July. He went 7 innings against the Mets last week. Trying to get through the 7th today.
Will he, Brian Snitker, if he has a quick inning here, push him to 8?
He has not gone beyond 7 innings yet in his rookie season. This is his 21st big league start. He only looks like he's been doing this for 10 years.
Well, how are they going to get loose?
They'll move the tarp.
Well,
they have a whole crew for that.
Suppose it's an emergency.
They'll move it faster.
What's the emergency? That Schwellenbach might throw a ball?
Well, he's behind 3-1. Hasn't walked a batter today. He's only walked 1 in his 3 starts against the Mets. That's top towards short. In comes Arce at the field and throws out Martinez, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Schwellenbach. He's retired 9 in a row. Stretch time in game 1, 3-0 Braves. The Braves have the lead in this one. Adam Ottavino on to pitch the bottom of the 7th. Ozzie Albies has been on base 3 times in a row, 2 walks and the 2-run homer that gave the Braves the lead in the 3rd.
Otto got 4 outs in his last appearance against Milwaukee on Friday night, 3 of them via the strikeout.
And Albies takes just off the plate, a ball and a strike. Tyler McGill went 5 2/3, allowed 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 100 pitches. Oscar Brazoban got the final out in the 6th. And Albies drives one to center. On comes Bader, and he's there to grab it, 1 out. It looks for all indications that Schwellenbach's going to at least start the 8th inning. They're starting to get some stirring in the Braves bullpen. Schwellenbach has never thrown a pitch in the 8th inning in the major leagues.
83 pitches. Garrett, looking ahead, I think Brian Snitker is thinking, win this game, I'm in, save the bullpen and stretch out Schwellenbach. He's in a groove.
Here's Marcelo Zuna, who's 0 for 3. And he flies one out to right. Taylor gives some ground onto the warning track. He's there, 2 out.
You know, Keith, Schwellenbach high pitch total this year has been 106. That certainly covers him for the 8th inning, at least.
He could, with the way he's been going, it could be a complete game.
If the Braves win, they will be the number 5 seed, regardless of what happens in game 2, and they would go to San Diego. If the Mets win 1 game, they go to Milwaukee. If they win 2 games, they go to San Diego. Either way, the division series, the wild card series starts tomorrow. 5:30 start Eastern time in Milwaukee, 8:30 Eastern time start in San Diego.
I gotta say, Gary, I'm more fearful of San Diego than Milwaukee. They're 2 good ball clubs, but I think
Olson's 1 for 3 today. And a good slider there by Ottavino, and it's 1-2. Now the Padres were just red hot the second half of the year.
And Machado got red hot down the stretch. And they've got pitching run. They got bullpen and starters.
The only question has been their closer, Robert Suarez, who stumbled coming down the stretch. Wilson gets jammed and fouls it off, 1-2. And of course they have the now 3-time National League, American League combo batting champion, Luis Arraez. Wound up at 314 to win his 3rd straight. On the outside corner, Olsen takes a call, 3rd strike, and Ottavino has a 1-2-3 inning. Well, for the first time in his major league career, Spencer Schwellenbach will throw a pitch in the 8th inning. Tyrone Taylor leads off for New York and takes inside, ball 1.
A little bit surprised that Taylor can run, and the third baseman, Urshela, is playing almost to the outfield, cut of the outfield grass.
Taylor takes a cutter for a strike. 1-1. Tyrone had the first Met hit, a very odd looking infield single that spun from foul territory back into fair. Got to third with 1 out, but the Mets couldn't get him in. That was in the 3rd. Half swing, and he went around, and it's 1-2.
That half swing tore the cover off the ball.
Francisco Alvarez on deck. Harrison Bader behind him. 1-2 coming. And the slider misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 24-year-old Spencer Schwellenbach from Saginaw, Michigan, University of Nebraska. Lightly used as a pitcher before he got to the big leagues, but boy, is he a big league pitcher.
Started out in high A ball, Rome, went to Double-A Mississippi Braves. 8 starts, ERA 1.80. Go to the big leagues.
2-2 coming. Grounded foul on the cutter. Well, he threw 31 innings in college. He threw 110 innings in the minors. He's now thrown 123 innings in the big leagues. 2-2. Up and in, full count. And 20 of those innings have been against, 21 have been against the Mets. And he's given up just 1 run in those 21 innings. 8th pitch of the at bat coming to Taylor. And he flies this one foul down the right side. And that'll go out of play. Taylor stays in the at bat, 9 pitches deep and still going. This might force Brian Snitker's hand. Long at bat here for Taylor. He's got action going now in the bullpen. Again, the 3-2. Breaking ball, line past Urshela's glove, but just foul. Matthew Kaminsky on the organ for the Braves. Doing his Tyrone Taylor, Andy Griffith Show theme.
Yep.
Pitch number 11 from Schwellenbach to Taylor. And he drives one to the gap in left center field. That's going to be between them and all the way back to the wall. Taylor heads for second. He's got the Mets' first extra base hit of the day. A leadoff double in the 8th inning. A tremendous day and a tremendous at bat for Tyrone Taylor. And that's going to be all for Spencer Schwellenbach. Now the Mets will try and rally against the Braves bullpen with Schwellenbach out of the game in the 8th. All right, guys, Spencer Schwellenbach throwing eighth inning pitches for the first time. Tyrone Taylor battled him for 11 pitches and a double, so he's out after 7 innings plus. The Braves will try and get 6 outs out of their bullpen, starting with Joe Jimenez.
Well, Jimenez came in for Schwellenbach last Tuesday and pitched a clean inning with a couple of strikeouts. He just appeared in a game on Saturday against the Royals.
So the Mets with another chance with a runner in scoring position, 3 for 30 over the last 5 games. Alvarez has had 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position, grounded out both times, and takes the first slider for a strike, 0-1. Harrison Bader is due up next. It looks like Starling Marte has come out on deck to bat for him. That's pulled down to third, and Pastor shelling down the line. It's a fair ball. Taylor will score. Alvarez trades places with him. He's at second with an RBI double, and the Mets have life in the 8th. It's 3-1 Atlanta. Back-to-back doubles by Taylor and Alvarez to get the Mets on the board.
He was on the line and just didn't get there. That ball just couldn't, just on the chalk. And hung the slider a little bit. It gave Alvarez a chance to get the bat. Let go with one hand.
So now Starling Marte will pinch hit for Harrison Bader with the tying run at the plate. Marte started yesterday, went 0 for 2 with a walk and a sacrifice. Batting against Joe Jimenez. He takes one up and in for ball 1. So the Mets held at bay for 7 innings by Schwellenbach. Back-to-back doubles by Taylor against Schwellenbach and Alvarez against Jimenez. And now a big chance for Starling Marte. And Marte gets a breaking ball and fouls it down the right side, 1-1. Bill Maton, who has been a workhorse the last couple of days for the Mets.
Boy, he sure has.
Is up in the bullpen. He got 5 outs on Saturday, and then 3 more yesterday. 1-1. And Marte pulls one toward the hole, base hit. Alvarez has to hold up. He'll go to third and stop there. Starling Marte with a pinch hit single. The Mets with 3 straight hits to start the 8th. And they got the tying runs on base with nobody out, and Francisco Lindor coming up.
Another slider hanging. Alvarez has to freeze, make sure the ball gets through. Mets in business.
Big hit off the bench from Marte. Rick Kranitz, pitching coach for the Braves, out to speak to his big right-hander. That's what you're going to see from Jimenez, though. He's mostly a slider ball pitcher.
Well, the Mets have this set up exactly the way they would want it, with Marte and his speed carrying the tying run at first, and their MVP Francisco Lindor coming to the plate. Raisel Iglesias, the Braves closer, is up in the bullpen. He has had multiple 6-out saves this year, so they are not afraid to go to him early.
Well, this is a key at bat right here.
Lindor grounded out 3 times in a row against Schwellenbach. Alvarez at third, Marte the tying run at first, nobody out. It's up and away. Jimenez having trouble controlling his fastball. Ball 1. Lindor has a home run in 6 career at bats against Joe Jimenez. Lindor swings and misses on a high fastball. 1-1. Lindor hit his 32nd home run of the year yesterday. We mentioned early in the game, Mets have come from behind 4 times against the Braves. The Braves have not done it once against the Mets this year.
Marte looks like he was content to stay at first for now. Keep that hole open.
Marte with 16 steals and 17 tries this year. And Lindor lines one into center field, a base hit. Alvarez is in. Marte stops at second. 4 straight hits for New York. Lindor drives in a run, and it's 3-2. 89th run batted in for Lindor, and the Mets are stringing together hits, and Brian Snitker is on his way to the mound to make a change.
Well, they treated Jimenez roughly, 4-seam fastball running away.
So the Braves will call upon Raisel Iglesias to try to get a 6-out save. He'll come in with the go-ahead run at second base and nobody out. 3-2 Atlanta in the 8th. We'll be right back. The Braves have asked a lot of Raisel Iglesias this year. They're going to ask a ton of him right now.
I mean, of all the guys that are closers in baseball, he's got probably the whoopiest arm to kind of figure it out and get it done. Unlike most closers who don't hold runners on very closely, Iglesias is a good athlete, and he does.
Braves in at the corners. This is a bunt situation in my view.
It's a battle of the churches.
Yeah.
Raisel Iglesias against Jose Iglesias. Corners in. Iglesias set to swing, and he goes after the first pitch. Breaking ball, 0-1.
You got your one of your hottest hitters. You give him 1 strike and then put the bunt on. I think he's hitting.
Iglesias 0 for 3 today. Came into the day with a 20-game hitting streak. Marte at second, Lindor at first, and Iglesias goes after another slider, and it's 0-2.
It's the first time I've seen Iglesias a little anxious up there.
Yes. Pulled off.
Good 2-strike hitter.
Now he fouls back the fastball. So after 2 sliders, he came up and in.
Good pitch. 0-2.
Remember, he's also got the great changeup, and he's not afraid to throw it right on right. 6 times this year, Iglesias has worked 2 innings. Poke the other way. That's a base hit for Iglesias. Marte around third, heading home. The throw by White is cut off, and the Mets have tied the game. All the way to third goes Lindor. It's 3-3 in the 8th. Jose Iglesias comes through again. OMG.
Oh boy, fastball away. And Ronnie, you called it. Good 2-strike hitter. Fastball, that's a good pitch, and that is good hitting. Oh boy.
Remember in Arizona when Jose Iglesias got that huge hit? This is even bigger.
That was the day that the Mets clinched the season series from the Diamondbacks, and Edwin Diaz turned his season around. Now the Braves bring the infield in. Go ahead run at third. Here's Vientos, and he takes the slider off the plate for ball 1.
The back runner, you had to freeze there for a second. You didn't know if Olsen was in play.
Vientos 0 for 3 today. And Mark chases a slider, and it's 1-1. You saw Iglesias get a little over anxious on the second strike and then get back in the at bat. Vientos there a little bit chasing. And that time he laid off the slider, and it's 2-1. Vientos 1 hit in 2 career at bats against Raisel Iglesias. Lindor the go-ahead run at third, Iglesias at first. Nobody out. Vientos pops one up, shallow center field. Harris is there, tagging is Lindor. Harris makes the catch. Here comes Lindor. The throw to the plate is cut off, and the Mets have the lead. Mark Vientos with a sacrifice fly to bring in Francisco Lindor with the 4th run of the inning, and the Mets have exploded for 4 runs to take a 4-3 lead.
What an at-bat by the youngster, just deep enough with that great arm of Harris.
Slider, and he lets go with the one hand, covers the plate.
Now Brandon Nimmo, there goes Iglesias, and no throw by Darno as he couldn't get it out of the mitt. And Jose Iglesias steals a base, just his 6th of the year. And that puts another runner into scoring position.
Linda was deep enough, and really Harris had time to get a little more momentum going home. Boy, what an inning.
RBIs by Alvarez, Lindor, Iglesias, and now Vientos. And Nimmo takes below the knees. 2-0. Brandon's 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. All started with Tyrone Taylor, that great 11-pitch at bat against Schwellenbach. He doubled, knocking Schwellenbach out, and the Braves bullpen is yet to get an out. 2-1 to Nimmo.
Well, the Mets were dormant for 7.
And Nimmo clocks one to deep right field. White goes back, takes a look, and it's out of here! Brandon Nimmo puts a hammer down with a 2-run homer. It's a 6-run barrage for the New York Mets. In a game that could put them in the postseason, Nimmo with his 23rd home run, a 2-run shot, and it's 6-3 New York. Now Aaron Bummer is on to pitch. The 4th pitcher of the inning for Atlanta. And Pete Alonso takes the breaking ball outside for ball 1. Still only 1 out. Alonso, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Pete is 1 for 3 on the day.
Did that hit him?
I think it did. Breaking ball.
And he didn't foul it off. That just, he chased that bad slider.
It's a back knee breaking ball for a strike.
Well, still quite a ways to go. The Atlanta Braves had a victory if they could get 6 outs. Well, the Mets will have their chance coming up.
Well, you know Diaz is ready for the 9th. The question is, with a 3-run lead, do you bring Diaz in to start the 8th?
No, definitely not.
Up on the way to Alonso, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phil Maton has been up for a while in the Mets bullpen, and he is alone out there. So it looks like he is the plan for the bottom of the 8th. He'll be working a 3rd straight day. Alonso goes down on the back foot breaking ball, and Bummer has a strikeout for the 2nd out of the inning. J.D. Martinez coming up. Let's check in with Steve.
Well, guys, after that Nimmo home run, as you can imagine, this bench exploded. And after celebrating with his teammates, Francisco Lindor came over to the side by himself and looked up at the sky and started whispering, almost like he was thanking God, before all the emotions just completely exploded out of him. And then he bowed his head and went back to celebrating with his teammates. To me, it reminded me, if you've ever seen the movie Miracle, where Herb Brooks, after the 1980 team wins, goes into the hallway by himself and has that moment. That was what it felt like, and that's what it looked like watching Francisco Lindor after that explosion here today.
When you think of what he's gone through the last couple of weeks just to be on the field in these most important games of the year. He had a big hit right in the middle of this inning.
He sure did.
And then scored the go-ahead run.
And again, Alvarez drove in key runs. He drove in key runs in Milwaukee, a big double.
2-2 to Martinez. And JD takes one in the dirt. 3-2. Tyrone Taylor started the inning with the double against Spencer Schwellenbach, who is long gone now. Francisco Alvarez doubled in a run. Starling Marte had a pinch hit single. Lindor had a base hit to drive in a run. Iglesias at the tying hit down in the count 0-2. Vientos hit the sac fly to put the Mets in front, and Nimmo with the 2-run homer. And now inside to Martinez, and the inning continues with a 2-out walk.
And the Mets have officially batted around in this 6-run eighth.
Luis Angel Acuna will run for Martinez at first base.
Steve evoking miracle. Herb Brooks, the late great Herb Brooks. Mets coming in here to enemy land in Atlanta. Herb would have said, not today.
Well, here is Taylor, who's at bat, turned this game around and takes a strike. Spencer Schwellenbach was asked to work into the 8th inning, and why not? He had only thrown 83 pitches through 7 scoreless innings. Taylor worked him for an 11-pitch at bat and then drilled a double to left center. And the Mets have followed from there. And Taylor flies this one to shallow right center. Angling in is Harris. Gives way to White, and White makes the catch. Inning over, but the most important inning of the year for the Mets as they put up a 6th spot. They lead 6-3. Braves a bit stunned right now after the Mets roughed up their bullpen and scored 6 runs in the top of the 8th in a game that Atlanta looked to have in hand. Let's go to their defensive platoon on the infield. Eddie Alvarez comes in to play second base. Jose Iglesias moves to third. Starling Marte, who pinch hit, stays in right. Tyrone Taylor moves to center. Phil Maton on to pitch. Eli White is up for the first time in the game. He came in for defense when the Braves had the lead, and now getting a turn at bat in Jorge Soler's spot. And White, who has a lot of speed, takes inside 1-1. Maton working for a 3rd straight day. He got 5 outs but threw only 15 pitches on Saturday. He threw 23 pitches in the 8th inning yesterday.
He has appeared, and this is his 30th game. First 29, 1.98 ERA as a New York Met.
And White takes the curveball outside 2-1. Ramon Laureano, who's had a big day, is on deck. And then Travis d'Arnaud. And that one comes inside and hits White, and he's on base.
I thought it was a foul ball.
Well, home plate umpire Scott Barry called it hit by pitch. And Carlos Mendoza wants to know if there was a swing. And now he wants to check with his replay coordinator and see whether they want to challenge the call of a hit by pitch.
Yeah, they asked, and the first base umpire said no swing.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
got
man.
him on the wrist.
And no swing.
So a leadoff base runner for the Braves. And now Laureano, who's already 3 for 3 in this game. 2 singles and a home run. And that's cutter is up and away for ball 1. So here's Maton working a 3rd straight day.
It's a lot to ask.
Laureano with his 5th 3-hit game this season. All have been with the Braves. He hasn't had a 4-hit game since back when he was with Oakland at the beginning of his career. And there's Edwin Diaz getting up. Remember, Edwin was used in a 5-0 game yesterday. But he is ready for extensive work to try and nail this one down. 1-1 to Laureano. And the breaking ball popped up. 3rd base side, giving a look at Iglesias, but that'll go out of play, and it's 1-2. Diaz threw 26 pitches in that 9th inning yesterday. He said before the game today, I'm available for both games if need be.
Maton usually puts away the hitters with his good curveball.
Travis d'Arnaud waiting on deck. 1-2 to Laureano. And the curveball popped up into shallow right. Coming on is Marte, and he gets there to make the catch. So Laureano's retired for the first time today, and that's the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Now d'Arnaud, who had an infield hit on the second and then struck out twice against Tyler McGill. McGill went 5 2/3, allowed 3 runs, 8 hits. Huascar Brazoban got 1 out, and Adam Ottavino got 3. Now Maton trying to negotiate the 8th after the Mets got the lead, and a call strike, 0-1. Ottavino now pitcher of record on the long side, and it would be a nice touch.
Yes.
For a guy who's had a roller coaster season. White with great speed at first. And d'Arnaud takes that cutter up and in. Didn't swing. 1-1.
White with great speed, but you can't run him. So double play here in order.
And d'Arnaud swings and misses at that cutter in the middle of the plate, and it's 1-2. Well, Maton never ever looks perturbed. First time this year he's worked 3 days in a row. 1-2 coming. Poked in the air, shallow center, and that's going to fall for a base hit. White around second, heads for third. And the Braves will get the tying run of the plate in the bottom of the 8th. d'Arnaud with his second hit of the day, a little dunker into center field.
Breaking ball, curve. Seen a lot of off the end of the bat, little dorks.
Well, Edwin Diaz is going to be asked to get 5 outs. The Braves went to Raisel Iglesias trying to get 6 outs. He didn't get any. Diaz comes in with a 3-run lead, trying to nail this one down. 6-3 in the 8th. We'll be right back. 26 pitches yesterday for Diaz to finish off a 5-0 game. He has not fared well over the course of his career working second days. Been better this year. But this is the biggest save of the season. The one he hopes that will get the Mets to the postseason. He'll face Gio Urshela with first and third and 1 out. Jared Kelenic has come out on deck to pinch hit for Orlando Arcia. Wouldn't that be a fascinating matchup? Urshela's 1 for 3, blooped a single his last time up in the 6th. White at third, d'Arnaud at first. And the first fastball is up and away for ball 1. Diaz's velocity was down a little bit in a non-save situation yesterday. See whether the adrenaline of the moment pumps that up today. Grounded foul outside third. 1-1. That fastball was 94 miles an hour, and that's a little alarming. There's Kelenic, who was traded for Diaz. 1-1 coming. Ground ball back to Diaz. His play will be to first. He lollipops it there for the second out as d'Arnaud goes to second.
Oh my goodness.
Throwing to bases, always an adventure for pitchers.
Crow hop, boys, crow hop.
Well, here we go. This is about as poetic as you could ask for. Kelenic against Diaz, tying run at the plate, 8th inning. And that one skips in to Alvarez, who's able to knock it down and keep a run from scoring.
Boy, just spiked that slider, and there's the lack of movement from Alvarez because he's on that one knee.
White at third, d'Arnaud at second with 2 down. 1-0 to Kelenic. Kelenic has hit just 170 since the All-Star break. That's why he is not starting. Diaz behind him, 2-0. And a swing and a grounder behind the bag. It's a fair ball. Diaz didn't cover, and a runner's going to score. Edwin Diaz did not get off the mound to cover. Alonso made a fine play behind the bag, but there was nobody there to cover first base. Kelnick gets an infield hit. White comes in to score, and it's now 6-4. Big mistake by Edwin Diaz.
It's a slap in the face of your infielders when you don't cover. The effort by Pete to get there and make the great play.
That puts the tying runs on base and brings up the Braves' hottest hitter, Michael Harris.
How critical was Brandon Nimmo's 2-run home run?
Oh, man.
Talk about insurance runs.
A hit by pitch, not covering first. The little things.
With Harris having been hurt with a hamstring earlier this year and Diaz having missed all of last year, Michael Harris has never faced Edwin Diaz in a regular season game. Whit Merrifield is going to run for Kelnick, carrying the tying run at first. So Merrifield running for Kelnick. Darno is on third. Tying runs aboard. 2 out, bottom of the 8th. And Harris takes the first fastball down for ball 1.
Pete's guarding the line as he should. And that's, that play right there, that's a double down the line. That's 2 runs in.
There goes Merrifield. They'll let him go, and now the tying runs at second base. Not even the hint of a throw. And now a base hit by Harris could tie the game.
Braves knew the Mets do not defend that with Diaz on the mound.
2-0 coming. And that's low. 3-0. The Braves bullpen melted down in the top of the inning. Diaz trying to avoid a similar effect in the bottom. 3-0 to Harris. Ozzie Albies on deck. And he takes the slider for ball 4 to load the bases. Boy, oh boy. So Diaz, after forgetting to cover first base, walks Michael Harris on 4 pitches. And now Ozzie Albies with a home run right on right in the 3rd inning. Faces Diaz. Bases loaded. And it's way outside ball 1. And Alvarez angrily tosses that ball back to Diaz. Needing to get Diaz focused.
And remember, Albies batting right-handed against the right-hander.
And that misses. 6 straight balls thrown by Diaz after the failure to cover first base. It's needed him to collect himself in a hurry. And Albies grounds 1 foul, so after 6 straight balls, he's up there swinging.
You can always count on Ozzie to be swinging the bat.
Albies has never had a hit against Diaz. 0 for 9. Of course, all of those were batting left-handed. Darno at 3rd, Merrifield at 2nd, Harris at 1st, 2 down. 6-4 to York, 8th inning. And that's away, ball 3. The Truist Park crowd is in a frenzy. Line drive left field, going back is Nimmo, and it's over his head and off the wall. All 3 runners are going to score. Albies clears the bases with a 3-run double, and the Braves have gone back in front 7-6.
Sometimes, despite the velocity, you get yourself in a place as a pitcher where you got to groove one. You got to go after him.
He put himself in that place.
Yes.
Now Marcell Ozuna takes it high.
3-1 count, fastball in. And he steps in the bucket, as we noted, and he likes that ball in. And a bad carom off the wall.
A 5 RBI day for Albies. Ozuna pops one straight up. Alvarez coming back, hoping for a play, but he runs out of room. Both teams' closers allowing the lead to get away.
Wow, what a day.
And now Diaz has got to get this third out and give the Mets a chance in the ninth.
Who are they going to close with?
One and one to Ozuna, who's 0 for 4 today. And Diaz still having trouble throwing strikes.
Watch the back runner at first.
Michael Harris,
they're all running hard.
Harris looked like he was running the 200 meters at the Olympics.
Ozuna swings and misses at a slider, and it's 2-2. This inning should have been long since over.
And there's
the ball hit by Kelenic. But Diaz failed to cover first, and he hasn't retired a batter since.
Pierce Johnson in the bullpen.
Ozuna lays off, and it's 3-2. "26 pitches yesterday for Diaz. 20 pitches in this 8th inning today. 3-2 to Marcell Ozuna. And he struck him out to end the inning. But the Braves rally for 4 runs, the last 3 on an Ozzie Albies 3-1 double. And now the Mets down a run as we go to the 9th in Atlanta.
Well, good at bat by Kelenic as he hits this ball down the line. Pete, what a great play down the line. But Diaz just watching the play. You have to cover here. Closers sometimes just get lost in batter-hitter relationship, the batter pitcher back and forth. They forget that they got to play the game as well.
When the inning ended, Diaz just beside himself.
Honestly, he should be.
And now Pierce Johnson is on to try and save it for the Braves. Both teams have rallied in the 8th. Now the Mets take their chance in the 9th. Alvarez to lead off against Pierce Johnson. And the first curveball outside for ball 1.
Well, Johnson's been a big part of this bullpen all year. Good breaking ball.
When Merrifield stays in to play third, Urshela moves over to play shortstop, with Arcia having been pinch hit for. And Alvarez pops one up on the infield. And it's going to be Merrifield. 1 out. Winner of this game advances to the postseason. The loser of this game needs to win the second game to advance to the postseason. The Arizona Diamondbacks will be rooting for whoever wins the first game to win the second game, because then they would make the postseason. They're starting Marte up for the second time at a pinch hit single in the Mets' 6-run 8th. Mets with 6 runs in the top of the 8th inning, including a 2-run homer by Nimmo off the Braves closer Raisel Iglesias, and then the Braves rallying for 4 in the bottom of the 8th against the Mets closer. It's very simple. Win 1, you're in. Lose 2, you're out. Pierce Johnson has 2 saves this year, 15 in his career. 1-1 to Marte. And he takes a hack and fouls off the fastball. You don't see many fastballs from Pierce Johnson. He throws mostly curveballs. One and 2 to Marte with Lindor on deck. And he lines one toward the middle, and that goes into center field for a base hit. And having a non-shortstop playing shortstop cost the Braves there. Urshela just didn't have the foot speed to get to it. And Marte is aboard.
Slider out on a not away enough. Gary, this ball was scalded. Look where Urshela's playing. Not too many shortstops are going to get that ball.
So now the tying run at first, and here is Lindor, who drove in a run in the Mets' 6-run eighth. 1 for 4 on the day. Johnson with a pretty good move.
Yeah, I just was going to say he does have a good move. You got to give Lindor a chance. Have a big, another big moment.
And Lindor gets under one to center field. Harris going back near the wall, and it's out of here. Linsanity again. Francisco Lindor flips the script with a 2-run homer, and the Mets go in front 8-7. Oh wow!
Oh boy.
The Mets MVP brings them back off the mat in the ninth. Two teams trading body blows in the last 2 innings. And the Mets leapfrog in front 8-7 on Lindor's towering home run, his 33rd of the year.
Oh my gosh, what a ball game.
You said it, buddy. Wow.
Iglesias drove in the tying run for the Mets in their 6-run eighth. Vientos put him ahead with a sac fly. The Braves responded with 4 in the bottom of the eighth, but now Lindor has put the Mets back in front. And now the question is, does Diaz go back out there for the ninth?
Looked like a little breaking ball or slider that did not break. Lindor went down and got it, and that ball carried.
35-degree launch angle, so he brought some rain with it. Hit at 413 feet. Iglesias hits one back to Johnson, and he makes the play for the second out.
Marte, who's always very stoic and low-keyed. If the Mets hang on and win this ball game, that's going to be the biggest home run in Lindor's career.
One of the biggest in Mets history.
By far. Wow.
Eddie Alvarez will bat for the first time. Came in for defense in the last inning. Ryan Stanek is up in the bullpen. So the question is, are you going to stick with Diaz, who had such a rough go of it in the eighth, or are you bringing in Stanek to start the inning? And Alvarez takes a slider for a strike, and it's 1-1. Luis Severino, who will pitch game 2 if the Mets don't win this game, wants to be with his teammates. Eddie Alvarez still looking for his first hit as a Met, and he takes a strike 1-2.
And the way this game is going, it's far from over.
Right?
Oh yeah. For 7 innings, it was the Spencer Schwellenbach show, and the Mets were down 3-0. But the twists and turns in this game are like the twists and turns of the Mets season. 1-2 to Alvarez, and he fouls one away.
No one made getting 21 outs look easier than Schwellenbach, and everyone who's come in after him has struggled.
And both managers who did not want to use a lot of their bullpen today have had to use a lot of their bullpen.
1-2 coming, and Alvarez takes outside 2-2. In the bottom of the ninth, the Braves will have Olson, White, and Laureano due up. They still have Adam Duvall and Sean Murphy on the bench. 2-2. And the curveball stays outside. A full count to Eddie Alvarez. Brandon Nimmo, who homered his last time up, would be next. Three-two coming from Pierce Johnson. And he hooks one foul down the right side.
Both teams have gone to their defensive platoons, and now they've become offensive players.
Three-two. And he got a piece of it. Well, both teams look exhausted. And there's another game to play today after this.
Well, the team that wins is they got to have a letdown.
And then whoever gets in, one or both, will be traveling and playing tomorrow in the first game of the postseason.
Stanek is up. It looks like he's coming in. I wonder if Mendoza was tempted for Danny Young against Olson and then go to Stanek.
Got to do three batters, though.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You'd have to go with Young the whole way. My bad.
Stanek has 11 career saves, 7 this year with Seattle. Again, the 3-2, and Eddie Alvarez goes down on strikes. Worked so hard to get back into the lineup for this team. He is their MVP. He is their lifeblood. And his 2-run homer has put the Mets 3 outs away from clinching just the 11th postseason berth in the 63-year history of the New York Mets.
Let's hope that the anger that Diaz had himself for the 8th works out to be a better inning here in the 9th.
Well, Stanek will be ready to pick him up if he needs help. Matt Olson leads off with his power. He pops up on the first pitch, and Lindor waits for it to come down, and that's the first out. A huge first out for Diaz as Olson pops up. 2 outs to get. Eli White is coming up. White got the 4-run 8th inning started for the Braves when he was hit by a Phil Maton pitch. Now up for the second time, and he takes a fastball for a strike. Ramon Laureano, who's already had 3 hits, including a home run today, on deck. And White takes up and in, a ball and a strike. Only one Mets first-year manager has ever taken the team to the postseason. That was Buck Showalter 2 years ago. But Buck was a veteran who had been to the postseason many times before. Carlos Mendoza, first year as a big league skipper, enduring one of the worst starts imaginable. 11 games under 500 has brought his team to the brink. Fouled off, and it's 1-2 to White with Laureano on deck. Now can Diaz, after 26 pitches yesterday and 26 more today, close the deal and get 2 more outs. 1-2 coming. And the slider misses low and away. Good take by White. It's 2-2.
Diaz throwing better here at pitch 27 than he did in the first 20.
2-2 coming. A little bit high with the slider. Full count. I thought after he failed to cover first base in the 8th that he really struggled after that to get himself righted again. This is poked into center field, and White's got himself a base hit, and the Braves have the tying run aboard with the speed of White. It's not over yet.
Folks, this one's not going to be easy.
I'd put your seatbelt on if you have one.
Here comes Carlos Mendoza. We'll see whether he's going to make a pitching change. He's got Stanek ready in the bullpen. We have seen often this year that Carlos will go to the mound and not make a change, trying to get a feel for his pitcher.
Well, the question will be asked, you know, if you feel fine, I want to leave you in here. Now, let's not forget White at first base, tremendous speed, so we're going to have to throw a pickoff move over there once or twice. Just walking, slowing stuff down, walking his infield through the defensive play, giving his pitcher a break. and leaving him in there.
Iglesias always a comic relief.
So now Laureano, who has 3 hits today, including a home run. Tying run at first. A disengagement by Diaz. White with tremendous speed, not running, and Laureano hits one over the bag, just foul. Oh, wow, that was close.
Yeah, but he's on the line there. Iglesias had the line covered.
Very similar, though, to the double that Alvarez hits in the top of the 8th, where Urshela was guarding the line, and he still kept it fair.
Now he's on that line. Well, that might have got by him, but it was fair.
0-1 to Laureano. White has a big lead. He's running, and the swing and a miss. No throw as White steals second, and now the Braves are a base hit away from tying the game. Can't let him steal third, though. 0-2 to Laureano. Foul back. 98 up and in. Oh-2 coming. Grounded foul. He's able to foul off a fastball, able to foul off a slider. This is the most pitches that Diaz has thrown in any game this year. And it comes on the heels of throwing 26 pitches yesterday.
It's elevated fastball. He wants to swing.
Travis d'Arnaud on deck. 0-2 to Laureano. And he throws with the slider. The ball and 2 strikes. What a roller coaster this season, this game. 1-2. He struck him out. 2 men down.
I think that was his best slider of the afternoon, Keith.
Off the plate, chased.
And the last out for Diaz to get is the former Met killer, Travis d'Arnaud.
Remember, d'Arnaud got the game-winning home run against Kansas City.
He's got 2 hits today. Swings and misses on the first pitch slider, 0-1. d'Arnaud is 0 for 4 in his career against Edwin Diaz.
He may get an interview, but that will be after ESPN.
Lays off the slider, a ball and a strike. If d'Arnaud keeps it going, Gio Urshela would be next. White at second with 2 out. 8-7 New York, 9th inning. And d'Arnaud swings and misses at a slider, and now the Braves are down to their final strike. One-two from Diaz. Slider away. 2-2. 40th pitch upcoming for Diaz. Does he have one more strike in him? Needs a new baseball. Two. Ground ball. Lindor waits on it. He's got it. And the ball game is over. From 0-5 to OMG. What a ride. The Mets are going to the postseason in 2024. And what an incredible game to clinch with. Down 3-0, up 6-3, down 7-6. Lindor with the home run to put him over the top, and Diaz stretched to the max to close it out, and the Mets win it 8-7.
Well, this is a game of the ages in Met history. I'm telling you. Scoreless through 7, and they score 8 runs in the 6th in the 8th, 2 in the 9th, the 2-run homer from Lindor. He also drove in a run in that 6-run 8th.
You know, Keith, it was Mendoza's steadiness in May when they were one of the worst teams in the game. He never changed the way he managed his ball club. They came out of it. They changed the narrative, and now they're a postseason team.
A phenomenal game to cap what has been an unexpectedly fun, whimsical season for the New York Mets as they win their 89th game of the year, and they will head to either San Diego or Milwaukee tomorrow to start the National League Wild Card Series. If they win the second game today, they go to San Diego. If they lose the second game, they go to Milwaukee. But they know that they're in now, and Francisco Lindor, who was laid up for 10 days with a bad back, didn't quite look like himself when he first returned to the lineup. But the last couple of days, he has been full Linsanity, and his two-run homer put the Mets over the top today.
We said in the booth right before he hit it, did he have one more big moment in him? And he certainly did. What a year for Lindor. What a year for Mendoza and his staff. Oh, my G-N-D.
And let's not forget, this club was left for dead at the end of May. And what a turnaround that they had the final 4 months of this season to turn it around and get into the postseason. Just remarkable. And it's a long year. Look at them all down there. You start in spring training, and then this is the end. 7 months. There's the owner, Steve Cohen, right there, out there, very pleased, of course, with his bunch. It's a long year, and boy, to get to the postseason, it's just such a great feeling.
They had their team meeting on May 30th. 67-39. They went from that day.
They were 11 games under 500 at that point. J.D. Martinez said, everybody's written us off. Let's go have some fun. And the Mets have had plenty of fun. Best team in baseball over the last 4 months. And that man, if he's not the MVP of the league, he is certainly the MVP of this team. And every time he's been called upon to do something grand, he has come through in grand fashion. Edwin Diaz pushed further than he had gone in years, throwing over 40 pitches today on the heels of 26 yesterday. And Francisco Alvarez, who was upset with Diaz in the prior inning because he felt, I think, that Diaz had lost his head a little bit after he failed to cover first base, but he was locked in the ninth. And Alvarez proud of his pitcher, and this team has to be extraordinarily proud of its accomplishments. Postseason for just the 11th time in the 63-year history of the New York Mets.